Okay, so we're going to start in a seated position, easy seat or Sukhasana if that feels like a nice way to sit. Any other seat is also a valid seat. So and also, you know, you always have the option of sitting on a blanket or a pillow, especially if the seated posture feels a little bit more comfortable with your hips elevated. So take a second to find a nice comfortable seat. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. And then for a moment here, as you find your comfortable seat, can you soften into your posture and have like really terrible posture? So almost a little bit of a rounding of your shoulders, a rounding of your back, your hands are nice and heavy, head is protruding forward just a little bit. And then with that really terrible posture, we're going to lift ourselves up and out of it. So think about rooting into your sits bones, lifting up through the crown of your head, draw your shoulders down and back. Pull your ribs in towards each other just slightly so you feel a little bit of firmness right at your center where your solar plexus is. Reach up just a little further through the crown of the head. Take one good breath in this nice upright posture. And then come back to that really terrible posture. Just kind of flop yourself down, round your shoulders, round your back, let your legs be soft and heavy. Arms are just kind of relaxed. And then we're going to do that again. Anchor into your sits bones. Lift up through the crown of the head, draw the shoulders down and back, pull the ribs in towards each other. Take a nice full breath here. Beautiful. And then do that one more time. Just relax into your posture, kind of slouchy. Let your shoulders be heavy. But now stay in this junky posture for a second and take a breath. And notice your breath with this poorer posture. Take a nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then lift back into that good posture. Anchor into your sits bones, reach up through the crown of the head, let your shoulders ground down. Draw the ribs in towards each other, firming up at the solar plexus. And then once you've got that more upright posture, take a nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. From here, if you can, take your left hand, reach across, find your right rib, spread your fingers nice and wide, and then come back to your breath. Take a nice deep inhale, feel that physical action of breath in your body. Slow breath out. Release that hand and we're going to switch to the other side. So right hand's going to reach across to the left ribs. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then release that hand, come back to your nice neutral position. Soften your shoulders down, firm up your center. Take a nice deep inhale. Nice slow exhale. Cool. And then before we move away from this place or start to get a little bit more deeply involved with the body, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, keeping your eyes closed if you can, we're going to do just a little gentle movement and then come back to our breath. So as you inhale, gently lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale and tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, tuck your chin down. And then bring your head back to a neutral position. And now we're going to focus on our breath. You're going to breathe in for a count of 3 and see if you can exhale slower for a count of 6. So it's going to be your count, your breath. Inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 6. And we're just going to take a few moments here just to find that rhythm of breath. So just allow your eyes to close if you can. Find your count, find your rhythm. We're going to go 2 more cycles of breath here, but see if you can just soften your fingers a little bit, soften your jaw, but stick with that count of breath. Inhaling for the count of 3, exhale for the count of 6. Nice. And then once you've completed those cycles of breath, eyes open, inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back. One more cycle of breath here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to a neutral spine, and we're going to move right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand comes behind you. Inhale and get nice and tall. And we're going to leverage against this twist just a little bit. So we're going to go nice and deep, or as just as deep as feels good and comfortable in your body. You should still be able to breathe pretty freely here, but there might be like a little constriction of breath. Take a nice full breath. Notice the constriction of your breath. Soften a little on your exhale. Take one more breath here, and then we're going to see if we can maintain this integrity of the twist, but without our handhold. So firm up the muscles in your side body. Can you lift your hands, bring your hands into a prayer at heart center, but keep your twist so everything else stays exactly as it is. Hold it for one more moment, and then return to center. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. And release your hands, take your twist to the other side. So we're going to leverage against that twist so that we find a nice deep position. Notice the constriction of breath. Soften a little bit on your exhale. And now see if you can hold that integrity of your twist, but release your handhold. So prayer hands to heart center, but keep that twisted position of the body nice and strong. Beautiful. Hold it for one more second. And then when you're ready, release back to center, nice and slow and controlled. As you come back to center, inhale a nice full breath. Nice slow breath out. And then keeping those palms together, inhale, we're going to lift the arms up, look to your arms as you look to your thumbs as you lift up. And then exhale, bring it back to heart center. And then we're going to take the hands forward. So push the hands forward straight up from the heart center, pull the hands back, and then put a little press between the palms. Press between the palms, inhale, lift up and look up. Press between the palms, bring it back to your heart. Press between the palms, push out from your heart. Press between the palms, bring it back into your heart. One more time through. Press between your palms, lift up, look up. Press between your palms, bring it to your heart. Press between your palms, push forward. Press between your palms, bring it back to your heart. And now we're going to release the hands behind the back. Nice tall fingers, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back just a little bit. Take a nice full breath. Feel that little bit of stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to swim those hands forward. Think easy seated forward fold. So we're going to hinge from our waist as we reach the hands forward, and then see if you can find just a little bit of lift through the front of the body to create just a little bit of space and length, and then soften just a little bit further into your easy seated forward fold. Take one breath in that outreach position, and then we're going to come back with a little bit of strength. So we're going to press into the fingertips, pull the belly button towards the spine, drag your fingers as you pull the ribs back. And then we're going to come all the way up, swim the hands behind the back into that gentle back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Notice that stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. Awesome. And then soften up that back bend just a little bit. Lean back into your sits bones. If you're in that easy seat, just switch the cross of your legs just for a little symmetry. And then once you've got your easy seat arranged, swim your hands forward. Lift through the front of the body, reach nice and long. So first come into a nice gentle stretching position, pause there, and then bring in a little strength. Push into your fingertips, pull the belly button towards the spine, draw your ribs back, drag your fingers, slide your hands behind you one more time with that gentle back bend. Lift your chest, lift your chin, take a nice full breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. We're going to lean back into the sits bones, swing your legs out in front of you, and we're going to take it into a little seated ragdoll. So we're going to step our feet so they're about shoulder distance apart. Nice, generous bend in the knees. Lift the belly up and over, reach down towards your toes. And then once you've got your belly and chest kind of snuggled against your thighs, soften through your back. Soften your back of your ribs. Soften the space between your shoulder blades. Soften the back of your neck. Take a nice full breath in and just see if you can notice and feel the breath in the back side of your body and maybe even the side of your body and your armpits. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up and in. We're going to step the feet in just a little bit so feet find a flat position on the ground. And then with hands behind you, we're just going to windshield wiper those knees gently side to side just to bring a little fluid movement into the hips. As you move here, just kind of get a sense. How are your ankles feeling? How are your feet feeling? How are your knees feeling? How are your hips feeling? How's your back feeling? I could go on and on. I list all the parts. Just notice how your body is feeling this morning. Nice. Take one more swish of the knees side to side, and then we're going to bring it into a little bit of strengthening. So step your feet in. So we're going to take it into a little reverse table, but like mini. So we're just going to find a little strength here. Fingertips pointing toward your butt, and then you might choose to readjust your hands as needed. Push into your palms, push into your feet, lift your butt just about 2 inches away from the floor. Notice how your shoulders feel here. Can you stay nice and steady, nice and stable? Gaze forward, take one good breath. And then set your butt down. Lift your hands up, give your wrists a little gentle twirl. Twirl them the other way. And then we're going to reset, come back to that reverse table. So then readjust your hands as a position that feels the most comfortable to your wrists. Lift your butt up and now come up just a little bit higher than you were before if you can. Notice your strength here. Find a little stability. Gaze forward, take a nice big breath. Nice. And then lower your butt down. Lift your hands up, give your wrists a little twirl. Give your wrist a little twirl the other way. And then one more time, and this time you're going to come as high as feels right to you. So find your hand placement, push into your feet, push into your hands. Lift your butt up just as high as feels good. Keep in mind, we haven't warmed up the shoulders. So if you don't come up to your full lift that you can usually get, just allow a little time to get there. And then when you're ready, release your butt back down. We're going to extend the legs nice and long into a gentle forward fold. So we're going to still keep a nice generous bend in the knees, but walk your feet just a little bit longer to the end of your mat. Lift up, think up and over. And as you exhale, reach towards your toes. It does not matter if you touch your toes. We just want to find a little bit of reach, a little gentle stretch through the backs of the legs. If you feel any sensation in your butt or in your glutes, you've gone too far, bend your knees a little bit more. But if all is feeling good and you're feeling a nice little gentle tug in the back of the hamstrings, take one more breath here. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly walk yourself back in. We're going to swing the legs out into a deer position. So right leg in front, left leg out to the side, and then get yourself situated so your knees feel good and your hips feel happy. From here, hands behind the head, push your head into your hands, hands into your head. So you keep and maintain that nice strong posture. Hinge from your waist, lean your chest forward. Inhale and come right back up. Exhale, lean your chest forward. Inhale and come up. Beautiful. Exhale, lean your chest forward. Inhale, come up, hands behind the back, lean into your sits bones, swing your legs out and around all the way to the other side. Take your time, get yourself set up, make sure everything feels good. And then once you're there, hands behind the head, push your head into your hands, hands into your head, maintain that nice strong back, hinge from your waist, lean your chest forward. Inhale and come back up. Beautiful. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, come back up. One more time here. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, come back up. Release your hands. Lean back into your sits bones. Swing your legs out, legs nice and long with as little bend in the knees as feels comfortable. Reach up and overhead. Pull the belly up and over. Exhale, reach toward your toes. Soften your knees. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up through your spine. And now we're going to swing the legs out and around. Find your way into a tabletop position or come onto all fours. As you come onto your all fours position, just check your knees. If you need to double stack your mat or put a little cushion under your knees, do that so that you feel really happy. And then once you're in your tabletop position, we're going to focus on the abdominal muscles for a moment. So draw your abdomen up just slightly, broaden your shoulders, lengthen your neck so you're gazing down at the floor. Take one good breath here. Nice. We're going to take 3 cat-cows here just to bring a little bit of fluid movement into the spine, and then we're going to come back to that strength. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Let this be a nice fluid movement. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. One more time through. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back, and then find a neutral spine. Gaze down between the thumbs, and now we're going to pull in the belly or find that vacuum suck belly. So you're going to take a nice full inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in. Really find that nice vacuum suck. So you want to really find that caved in belly just to the best of your ability. And that shape is going to look a little different for each of us. Hold it for a moment. And then when you're ready, relax the abdominal muscles. Take your inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, with all that air out, suck the abdominal muscles in. Get that hollow belly. Hold it for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the abdominal muscles, take your inhale. One more time here. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in. Hold that sucked in belly. When you're ready, release the abdominal muscles, take your inhale. Beautiful. From here, take it right into your puppy pose. Keep your hips in line with your knees. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Let your chest and forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and easy, bring it back into your tabletop position. Readjust anything that you need to. And then we're going to take left hand, right leg. We're going to slide out. Keep the toes and the fingers on the ground. Firm up your belly. Keep everything stable, and then slide the legs back in. Slide the legs and the arm back in. And then we're going to switch sides. So we want to keep everything else stable. Right hand, left leg are going to slide out. Keep your toe and your finger on the ground. Firm up your center, and then draw it back in. Great. And then we're going to go a little bit further. So left hand, right leg are going to slide out. Pull your abdomen in just a little bit. Lift your arm, lift your leg. Beautiful. Release it back down with control. Everything else stays stable. Slide it all back in. Switch to the other side. So right hand, left leg, reach out. Firm up your center, lift up. Keep everything else as stable as you can. Release the hands back down and slide it back in. And now we're going to go full length. So we're just going to reach out and lift. Beautiful. Release it back down to the ground. Switch right over to the other side. Reach out and lift. And release it back down. Nice. Curl both sets of toes under. We're going to take a few good rocks forward and back to stretch the toes and the bottoms of the feet. So take a few nice rocks forward and back, just finding a pace that feels right to you. You can choose to pause in places if you feel like they need a little extra stretch. So if it feels good to bring your butt back to your heels and stay there for a second, and do that if it feels good. Awesome. One more rock forward and back. And then as you come back into your table, keep your toes curled under, and we're going to hover our table. So we're going to pick the knees up away from the floor, nice and strong in your center, nice and broad in your shoulders, gazing down between your thumbs. Take 3 cycles of breath here, nice and strong. Awesome. When you're ready, release your knees down, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Take it back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your belly, your chest, and your forehead soften down. And then maybe bring just a little energetic reach through the arms and through the fingers. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift up and start to find our way down onto our belly into a Sphinx position. So walk your knees in, come down elbows and forearms. If you're looking for that extra bit of strength in your practice this morning, step your feet to the back end of your mat and pause in that low plank position. So make sure your butt's not too high up in the air, a little broadness in the shoulders, belly pulling up nice and strong. Beautiful. Take one more moment here if it feels good. and then release your knees down, come through a Sphinx position. So we're going to relax the hips down, pull the elbows energetically towards the ribs, squeeze between the shoulder blades, heart comes forward slightly, reach up through the crown of your head. And now we're going to add an element of strength here. So we're going to keep that Sphinx pose. If it feels better to keep it in a stretch and soft position, stay there. But if it feels good to add that bit of strength, you're going to pull the belly button towards the spine and the solar plexus in. So we're going to lift the abdomen slightly away from the floor, broaden your shoulders just a little bit, and then relax, soften it back down. Beautiful. Pull the belly in, lifting the belly up away from the floor, broaden your shoulders. Beautiful. Release it nice and slow. One more just like that. Pull the belly in, strong from your center. Lovely. Release it back down. And now we're going to take this into our dolphin position. So we're going to curl the toes under, start to lift up in your low plank position, and then you're going to lift your butt up, and then you'll readjust your feet. So it means you might have to step your feet in to a nice position that feels good. So you'll feel that down dog stretch through the backs of the legs. Heels are reaching towards the ground. Does not matter if your heels touch the ground. And now you might find a lot of work in the shoulders here. Take the nice big breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath if you can. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, lift up your heels, lower your knees, come through a tabletop position. Step your feet back up and in. Take a cat-cow here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Find a neutral spine and move into C-spine. So we're going to hug right shoulder to right hip, squeeze in at the side body, and then take it over to the other side. And just take a few fluid times going side to side, just to bring a little movement into the spine, going in that side to side motion. Nice. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, curl your toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a few petals of the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Beautiful. Take 1 or 2 more petals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice folded ragdoll at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees. Let your belly and chest rest on your thighs, and then just let everything dangle here for a moment. Let your head be nice and heavy. And if there's no reason not to, take your hands, interlace your fingers, and we're just going to grab hold of the back of the neck. If you've got anything going on with your head or your neck and a little traction is not for you, leave that part off. Just let your hands hang wherever they hang. But if it feels okay to be there, interlace the fingers, grab hold of the back of the skull, and then allow your hands and your elbows to be nice and heavy. Let the crown of your head just lower towards the ground a little further. Take one more breath here. If your hands are interlaced behind your head, go ahead and gently release your fingers down to the ground. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, nice and strong from your center. Roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders up to your ears, roll them around, down and back. And then as you come up to standing, just take a second to get yourself all fixed up, and then find your mountain pose, toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, anchor into your feet and reach up through the crown of your head. And then once you're here, just bring your awareness down to your feet. As you inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can. And then exhale, soften your toes back down to the ground. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can. And now we want to keep that wide spread of the toes, but exhale, let your toes soften down. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes. Exhale, soften your toes down. And now we're going to take it into the heels. So as you inhale, lift your heels away from the floor. It doesn't matter how high you go, just so long as you have control. Exhale, float your heels back down. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale to lower down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. And now we're going to reach the arms up and overhead. Grab that imaginary beach ball above your head. Exhale and sink into a little chair. Bring your weight into your heels slightly. Beautiful. Inhale and rise up. As you exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest, look to the sky. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale, sink into your chair, maybe sink just a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink into your chair, hang out here. Draw your tailbone down slightly so you feel a little bit of pull at that center or ribs drawing in towards each other. Maybe bring your weight back into your heels just a little bit further. Nice and strong. Take one more breath here. We're going to stay in this chair position, but now reach your hands alongside your hips. We're going to lean the heart forward just slightly and see if you can lift your heels away from the ground. Nice and strong in your legs, strong in your ankles, strong in your feet. Steady gaze. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release your heels. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And as you exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold, and then keeping that half forward fold position, just walk your hands up so that they find the tops of the thighs. Bend your knees a little bit, and then we're going to come back to that vacuum suck belly. So take a nice full inhale here. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, hollow out the belly, hold it for a moment, nice and strong from those internal belly muscles. And then when you're ready, relax the abdominal muscles, take your inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck it in. Hold it for a moment. Relax the abdominal muscles, take a nice full inhale. One more time here. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in. Hold it for a moment. Release the abdominal muscles, inhale. And then as you exhale, fold yourself back down to the ground. Soft knees, let that be a little bit of a dangle. And if it feels good to do so, just invite a gentle sway side to side. Nice, take one more gentle sway side to side, and then hands are gonna find the ground. Step both feet back to a plank position. Beautiful, nice and strong in that plank position. And then we're gonna take it into a supported side plank just to kind of practice our fluid movement with this work. And then we'll add it into our flow. So drop your right knee down. We're gonna spin the right knee out. Left hand is gonna reach up to the sky, look to the sky, take one big breath, and then float that left hand down. Spin that right foot back so you step back into your plank position. Lovely. Bring the left knee down. Spin that foot out, right hand reaches up, look to the sky, take one good breath. Nice, bring that hand back down to the ground, spin that left leg back, step back into your plank. Awesome, lift up into your downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale, sink into your chair. Swim your hands alongside your hips, lift your heels, release your heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down to the ground. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring the right knee down, open up into that supported side plank. Left hand reaches up, look to the sky. Bring that left hand down, step the right leg back to plank. Bring the left knee down, rotate open to the other side. Take a breath. Awesome, release that hand back down to the ground. Step back to plank. Lift into your downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. We're gonna take the right leg step it across the left. So we're gonna get a little crisscross of our feet, line up your pinky toes best you can. And then once you're there, we're gonna walk down nice and slow. Take your time, walk your hands down your thigh. You might stop there, walk your hands past your knees, to your shins, toward your toes, whatever reach feels good to you. Once you feel a little sensation, and you might feel sensation around your hips, the outer edges of your hips, and maybe even into your IT band. So for everybody, it might feel a little bit different. So soften best you can. Take one more breath. And then come up nice and slow. Gently walk your hands up your legs. Take your time. Uncross your legs, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So left leg is going to cross over the right. Line up your pinky toes best you can, and then start to walk yourself down to the depth that feels good to you. Maybe you stop at the thigh, maybe your knees, maybe your shins, or reach down towards your toes. Nice, and then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up. Uncross your legs, come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're gonna come to a runner's lunge, and then we're gonna add a little element of strength. So first, find your legs, lift your chest and lift your gaze, lift your fingers away from the floor. Feel that stability first. And then if you've got it, you're gonna lift your belly away from the thigh, airplane the arms, reach energetically through the fingers, nice long plane of that spine. So reach out through the crown of your head, reach through your fingers, take one more breath. And then we're gonna lift up into our crescent lunge. Reach your arms up, lift your gaze, take one good breath. Float your hands down to the ground, plant the palms, step back to plank. Bring the right knee down, open up into that supported side plank, left hand reaches up. Release that left hand down, step back to your plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Find some strength here. You can either power up to a plank or take it into your table, just whatever feels better to you. Push into your palms, lift yourself up, and then take it back to your downward facing dog. Keep your shoulders square, keep your hips square. Lift your right leg into three-legged dog, but the knees are pointing down, toes are pointing down. One more breath. Awesome. And then kick that leg up nice and high. Step it through to the top of the mat, or step it as far as your leg naturally goes. Help it along the rest of the way. And then step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Left leg back. Now we take it into that runner's lunge. Find your footing first. Heart forward, look forward. Once you feel like your legs are in a solid position, lift the belly away from the thighs. Airplane the arms. Strong through your back, strong through your legs, strong through your arms. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, hands down to the ground, plant the palms, step back to plank. Lower the knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, lower down onto your belly. Inhale up to a low cobra. Exhale up to a plank or to a tabletop position. And then I forgot that supported side plank on this side, so drop that left knee down, rotate, open up into your supported side plank, right hand reaches up. Nice, float that hand back. Step that left foot back, find your way up to downward facing dog. And then from here into your three-legged dog. Hips stay square, shoulders stay square, toes and knees pointing down. Beautiful, and then kick that leg up nice and high. Step it through to the top of your mat, or just as far as it goes, and then help it along the rest of the way. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up to meet, come to your forward fold. Dogs do not care if you're doing yoga. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your side. Shift your weight over to your left foot. We're just going to pick the right knee up. See where your balance is at right now. Set that foot down, shift your weight over to your right foot, pick your left knee up, see where your balance is at on this side. Nice, set that foot down, and now we're gonna come back to that right leg. So shift your weight over, and then if you need a little extra support, if you wanna hug close to a wall or a dresser or a chair, get yourself set up, and then shift your weight over to your left foot. We're gonna float through a little bit of a figure 4 work here. So pick your right knee up, and then we're just gonna take a few little internal, external rotations. So we're gonna hug the heel in and then flick the heel out. Just finding a little bit of balance and finding that rotational work. One more in and out. And then set that foot down, shift your weight onto your right foot, pick your left leg up, and then back to that internal, external rotation. So we're just swinging the heel in and out. One side might feel different than the other, and we're all gonna have certain variations of range of motion here. So just notice how your body moves here. Beautiful. When you're ready, set that foot down, back to that right leg. We're gonna pick the right leg up, externally rotate the knee, and then take your left heel over to the outside of your left thigh, and then drop it open into a figure 4 position. Pause in this figure 4 position. Prayer hands to heart center, reach up through the crown of your head. Take one good breath. Beautiful, and then with control, lift that leg off, set it down, shift your weight onto your right foot, pick your left leg up, externally rotate the knee, bring that heel to the outside of your right thigh, open into your figure 4, nice and tall. Take one good breath. Beautiful, and then with control, lift that leg off, release it down, find your mountain pose back to the top of your mat. So if you moved over to a chair or a wall, take a second to come on back, anchor into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back. We're going to come into warrior 2. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And then just rearrange your legs so they feel really good and solid and the weight is nice and evenly distributed, because we're going to find a little strength work here. So you might choose to stay in a warrior 2 if you're not working on strength this morning, but if you are, start by finding a side angle. So left elbow down to the knee, right hand is going to reach up alongside the ear. So we're going to find that length through the side of the body and then add an element of strength. So keeping your side body nice and firm, lift that elbow away from the knee, reach that hand up alongside your ear. Now you might choose to stay here, but if it feels good, we're going to move with it just a little bit. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to bring it back to that angle. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to bring it back with control. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to bring it back. Pause for a moment, find that strength, and then release your elbow to the knee. Top hand is going to reach just a little bit longer, and then roll the pinky finger down towards the ground, gaze down at the ground. Beautiful. And then lift up into peaceful warrior. Lift all the way up, strong through the side body. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Nice. And then we're going to spin the hands down to the ground. Cartwheel your hands down, pivot your back heel. Beautiful. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to a cobra just as high as you like. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Wonderful. Right leg is going to come up into 3-legged dog. And now we're going to step the right foot up about halfway. So we're going to step it to that halfway point of your mat. And then toes are going to turn out and we're going to drop into a little side plank from here. So you're going to rotate your hips, let your hips dip down towards the ground, and then pause for a second, readjust anything that you need to. And now we're going to take 3 lifts of the hips. So as you inhale, lift the hips up, reach your hand up alongside your ear. Beautiful. Dip your hips down just as far as feels comfortable. Inhale, lift your hips up, reach up alongside your ear. Exhale, let your hips lower and let your hand release as well. Lovely. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. And then as we lift up, we're going to spin the hands around, step that foot back to your downward facing dog, look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat, come to a forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop the heel, turn the toes out. Left hand picks you up. Take a second to just find your legs. You might choose to stay in warrior two. You might choose to take it to that side angle and stay in your side angle. But if you're working on that strength, you're going to lift that elbow away from the knee, keep the side body nice and solid. And then if you want more, inhale as you lift up. Exhale as you bring it back to that angle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it back down. Float that elbow to the knee. Reach through the left hand. Roll the pinky finger down, gaze down towards the floor. Beautiful. Lift up into your peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to the sky. Nice. And then spin those hands all the way down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows. Hug elbows into ribs as you lower with control. Inhale up to Cobra just as high as you like. Exhale it up to downward facing dog or through a table to downward facing dog. Left leg is going to lift into your three-legged dog, and now you're going to step that foot up to that halfway mark on your mat. Toes are going to turn out, and then we're going to lower that hip. So we're going to let that right hip rotate, lower down to the ground, readjust anything that you need to, and then we're going to add that lift. So left hand is going to sweep up alongside the ears. You lift your hips up, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower. One more time here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Nice. And then with a fairly neutral position, float that left hand back down and around. Step that leg back to your down dog. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk, step, or hop your feet up to the top of your mat. Come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your side. Pause for a moment in your mountain pose. Close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. Notice your breath. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Shift forward into a plank. And then this time, if you like, you'll either take a supported side plank or a full side plank, totally up to you. You might choose to drop the left knee down, swing that foot out, open up into your side plank. If you get here and you feel like your shoulder's happy about it and you want that added bit of strength, see if you can just slide that bottom leg back. Find that side plank. Pause for a breath there. And then when you're ready, release it back to your plank position. Readjust your hands, readjust your feet. And then we're going to take it to the other side. Either drop the knee down, rotate open to that supported position, or to your full side plank. And then if you like, if you get to that supported side plank and it feels great, step that leg back. Take one good breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release it back to your plank position. Bring your knees down, lower gently onto your belly. We're going to bend both knees and swish the heels a little side to side. Lovely. One more swish of the heels side to side, and then push your way up into a tabletop position. And now we're going to sit back into our hero's pose or thunderbolt pose. So here's the place where, if you like, taking your yoga block, tall setting if your knees are really mischievous, medium setting if they're only so mischievous, or lowest setting if that just feels like a most comfortable place to be. So you're going to place your block kind of between your heels and then sit back to a position that feels good. My knees don't generally bother me yet, so I can sit all the way back on my heels. So you find a position that feels really good to you. The block is a really nice in between so that it just feels happy in your place for your knees. Once you've got your position, we're going to take those bellows breath again. So it's an equal part inhale. The length of your inhale and the length of your exhale are the same length. Inhale, we reach up, we grab our hands, and as we exhale, We tap our elbows against the ribs. So we're going to take 10 cycles of breath. You're going to move with your breath rhythm. So inhale up, exhale, inhale, exhale. Go a few more cycles of breath. Just find a nice rhythm. You can go fast, you can go slow, whatever feels good. Take 1 or 2 more cycles of breath. And then when you've completed, let your hands just rest comfortably on your thighs. Close your eyes down just for a moment. Notice the energy in your body. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. If you're seated on your block, you'll just lift off with a little bit of control. If you're all the way back to your heels, you can use your hands to help assist. But if you can come up hands-free, we're going to lift up into a high kneel position, curl the toes under, hands are going to come into the back pockets. Hips come forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift your chest, lift your chin. From here, if it feels available, you're going to slide your right hand back, find your right heel, and then release your left hand. Reach your left hand up to the sky. Hips are going to come forward, heart is going to lift. And then lift back up into that high kneel, bring your hands back into your back pockets. Beautiful. Squeeze your shoulder blades, hips come forward, heart lifts. And then see if you can slide your left hand back, find your left heel. Right hand is going to reach up, hips come forward, gaze lifts up. Beautiful. Release as you come up, both hands into the back pockets one last time. Hips forward, heart lifts, gaze lifts. Nice. And then release your hands down to the ground. Release your toes. Draw back to your child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Make a little space for your belly. Make a little space for your chest. Soften through the back of the body. Soften your forehead down. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Take 1 more breath. And then on your next inhale, lift up into your tabletop position. Either swing your legs out to one side or crisscross your ankles. We're going to sit back on the butt, swing the legs around, and come back to our reverse tabletop position. So as you come around, swing your legs out in front of you, and then step the feet in so the feet are flat on the ground. Hands behind you, fingers pointing in whatever direction works best for your shoulders. When you're ready, press into your palms, press into your feet, lift up just as high as feels comfortable to you. Take 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, with control, lower your hips back down to the ground. Keep a bent knee position if you can. Curl the tailbone under. Gently roll your way all the way down to the ground. And then as you come down to the ground, give a second. Snuggle your shoulder blades in. Step your feet to the outer edges of your mat and take a few gentle windshield wipers here. Take 1 more time each side or even yourself out. And then we're going to bring it into a dead bug position. So we're going to lift our legs into that reverse table. Arms are going to reach out from the chest. Everything is going to stay stable except for the hand that's moving. So we're going to take the left thumb, reach it up and overhead. Legs stay stable, right arm stays stable. Pull that arm back up and in. Right thumb is going to reach up and overhead. Everything else stays nice and stable. Lift that right hand back up. Left foot is going to touch down to the ground. Everything else is going to stay nice and stable. Pull that leg back up. Right foot is going to touch down to the ground. Everything else stays nice and stable. Beautiful. Bring it back up. Left hand, right foot. Everything else is going to stay stable. You're going to reach the left hand up, right foot down, pull it back up with control. Switch to the other side. Right hand, left foot. Everything else stays stable. Bring it back up and in. Beautiful. 1 more time each side. Left hand, right leg, touch down. Bring it back up. Right hand, left foot, touch down. And bring it back up. Nice. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. And then add a little element of strength. So hands nice and strong. Push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Take a nice full breath. And then as you exhale, soften. Draw the legs in, just do a nice gentle squeeze. Hold on to your right knee. Let your left leg go nice and long. We're going to move right into supine twist from here. Take that right knee over and across the body. Let your right arm open out nice and wide. Takes 3 cycles of breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest. Left knee comes into meet. Get a firm handhold. Push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Take a nice full inhale. As you exhale, soften. Draw it in for a light little squeeze. Hold on to your left knee. Send your right leg nice and long. Supine twist to the other side. Take that left knee over and across the body. Left arm opens out nice and wide. And then take 3 nice deep breaths here. When you're ready, pull that left knee back into your chest. Right knee comes into meet. Push your knees into your hands. Hands resist. Take a nice full inhale. Exhale, soften, draw it in for a little squeeze. And then we're going to set the left foot down, a bent knee position. Let your hands come out at your side. Right foot's going to reach up towards the sky. Point your toe and then reach through your toe. Reach your leg nice and long towards the end of your mat. Let the heel hover. Bend the knee, pull it into your chest. Lift your foot up towards the ceiling. Reach through your toes. Reach nice and long. Down towards the end of your mat. Let your heel hover. Bend that knee, pull it into your chest. Lift the foot up to the sky. Reach through your toes. Reach it nice and long. Bend that knee, pull it into the chest. As you reach your leg up, now we're going to keep a little micro bend in the knee and a little softness in the foot. Walk your hand up your leg, up towards your ankle. Let your chest lift. Let your nose lift towards your knee. Take 1 good breath. Beautiful. And then soften, release, bend that right foot down, and we're going to take it to the other side. So left knee is going to pull into the chest, point the toe, reach it up towards the sky. Keep that nice long reach through the toes. Reach down towards the end of your mat. Let the heel hover. Bend the knee, pull it in toward your chest. Reach the foot up towards the sky. Keep the toe pointing, lengthen all the way down to the end of your mat. Bend the knee, pull it into the chest. Reach your foot up to the sky. Reach it nice and long to the end of your mat. Bend your knee, pull it into your chest. As you reach your foot up to the sky this time, soften your foot, soften your knee, walk your hands up towards your ankle, let your chest lift, let your nose lift towards your knee. Nice. And then when you're ready, soften everything down. Step that foot down, pause for a moment, and notice how your body feels. If there's any last pose or posture, movement or stretch that your body really wants or needs, take a second to give that to yourself. But if you feel like you're there, you're ready, you've gotten plenty of work in, set yourself up for your Shavasana. So maybe you get your blanket or your socks or your sweater, anything that gets you to a nice, happy position. Give yourself a little time to get yourself set up. Once you've got yourself all sorts of tucked in, give your body a moment to come to a comfortable, softer position. Work out all your little wiggles. And then see if you can just invite a soft heaviness into your body. Soft and heavy in your bones, releasing any muscle tension that you can. Soften the outer edges of your skin. start to bring your awareness back into your body. Gently wake up your fingers, gently wake up your toes. If it feels good to do so, gently rock your head a little side to side. And then if you've got props, if you've got your blanket or any other thing that is helping you in your Shavasana, maybe take a second to move your props off to the side so that you can stretch your feet nice and long. And once you stretch your feet nice and long, take a second to kind of wiggle into your bum, wiggle into your shoulders. And then we're just going to kind of notice the strength in our body and the weight of our legs and our arms. So once you feel like you've got your legs stretched out nice and long, you're just going to lift your right leg about 2 inches off the ground. And then just notice how your abdominal muscles probably fired on to help lift that leg up. Your left leg probably fired on just a little bit to anchor you there. Take one more moment to notice and then relax the right leg down. Take a second, wiggle out your bum, and then we're going to do that to the other side. So lift your left leg up just about 2 inches off the ground, and then notice that strength in your body that helped create that lift. Cool. And then when you're ready, release that down, take a second, shake out your bum, and then we're going to take it up into the right arm. So you're just going to lift your right arm up away from the floor, a lot lighter than your leg, but notice you had to have some muscles engaged to lift that up. And then release it down, and then take it over to your left arm. Lift your left arm just about 2 inches away from the floor. And then release that arm back down. Awesome. Give everything a nice little wiggle. Take it into a big good morning stretch. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Reach through your toes. Take a nice big breath into your body. And then when you feel ready, slowly and mindfully bring yourself up to a seated position. Coming up to Sukhasana or any other seat that feels good to your body. Beautiful. And then as you come up to your seated position, just pause for a moment. If you like, close your eyes down, find that nice uplifted spine, shoulders are soft, hands are soft. Take a nice full breath in. Nice slow breath out. Take your left hand, reach across, find your right ribs, spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release that hand and switch over to the other side. Right hand reaches across, find your left ribs, spread your fingers wide. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then bring both prayer hands together at heart center and Anjali Mudra. Thumbs to sternum, bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Breathe in a little extra love, gratitude, and strength that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday. You guys are amazing. Woo!